Have you ever grabbed last night's leftovers, popped them in the microwave, and thought, "I'm being smart and healthy"? After all, you're saving time, reducing food waste, and eating homemade meals. But what if I told you that 5 everyday foods, ones you likely have in your kitchen right now, can become toxic when reheated and may silently harm your body over time? It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. Doctors and nutrition researchers have found that certain foods, when reheated, can form dangerous compounds linked to cancer, inflammation, and even memory problems in older adults. What seems like a harmless habit, warming up a dish in the microwave, could be putting your health at risk without you ever knowing it. As we get older, our digestion slows, our organs become more sensitive, and our body's ability to detoxify weakens. That means these hidden food toxins can build up faster quietly, contributing to issues like gut discomfort, increased oxidative stress, and even dementia in the long run. The good news? You don't have to throw out all your leftovers. In fact, today's video will reveal the 5 common foods seniors should never reheat, and more importantly, we'll show you exactly what to do instead to keep your meals safe, nourishing, and brain-friendly. So stick with me, because once you learn the science behind these foods, you'll never look at your microwave the same way again. Before we dive in, tell me, where are you tuning in from today? And how often do you reheat your meals at home? Type your answer in the comments side, I'd love to know. And if you're serious about protecting your health after 60, make sure to subscribe to Forever Health 247 and turn on the bell so you never miss another life-saving tip. If this message resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Either way, I'm glad you're here. Now let's uncover the 5 common foods that may quietly become toxic when reheated. Food 1. Spinach becomes toxic when reheated. Spinach is one of those foods we often praise, and rightly so. It's packed with iron, vitamins A, C, and K, and antioxidants that support heart, bone, and eye health. Whether tossed into salads, blended into smoothies, or layered in lasagna, it's a staple in many healthy kitchens. But here's the part most people never hear. When you cook spinach, store it, and then reheat it, especially in the microwave or at high temperatures, you could unknowingly create harmful compounds. Why? Spinach is naturally rich in nitrates. In their original form, these compounds support blood pressure and circulation. But according to studies published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, when spinach is cooked and left sitting, those healthy nitrates can break down into nitrites, and those can convert into nitrosamines, a group of chemicals linked to increased cancer risk, particularly in the digestive tract. Even more concerning, emerging research suggests nitrosamines may affect the brain, contributing to long-term neurological conditions like dementia. The breakdown is invisible. There's no smell, no warning sign, just a chemical change occurring quietly in your food. For seniors, the risk is even greater. As we age, our detox systems slow, and our cells become more vulnerable to oxidative stress. What you could once tolerate in your 30s may now quietly build up, adding pressure to your digestive system, your liver, and even your memory. Let me share a real-world example. A friend of mine, Elaine, 67, used to batch cook her favorite spinach and lentil stew every Sunday. She'd reheat portions in the microwave throughout the week. She never suspected anything was wrong until she began experiencing bloating and brain fog that no one could explain. After switching to fresh greens and stopping the reheating habit, her symptoms improved noticeably within a few weeks. Now, this doesn't mean you should avoid spinach. Not at all. It remains one of the most powerful superfoods available. But preparation is key. If you cook spinach, try to eat it immediately. If you have leftovers, enjoy them cold, perhaps in a chilled soup or added to a wrap. And if you absolutely must reheat, use low heat on the stovetop and do it just once, not repeatedly. Taking small precautions like this can protect your gut, your brain, and your long-term health. Food 2. Reheated potatoes and the silent bacteria threat. Potatoes are a comfort food in nearly every culture. Whether mashed with butter, baked until crispy, or simmered in a savory stew, they bring a warmth that feels like home. But as comforting as they are, the way you store and reheat potatoes could quietly work against your health. Here's what most people don't realize. When cooked potatoes are left to cool and then reheated, their starches change. Through a process called retrogradation, these starches become resistant starch, which in small amounts can be beneficial for gut health. However, the problem arises not from the starch itself, but from what may grow in those potatoes during storage. If cooked potatoes are cooled slowly, especially if they were wrapped in foil and left at room temperature, they create an oxygen-poor environment. This is the perfect breeding ground for a dangerous bacterium called Clostridium botulinum, the very same bacteria responsible for botulism. And here's the scariest part: you won't smell it. You won't see it. The neurotoxin it creates is invisible and can quietly cause nausea, dizziness, and, in severe cases, neurological damage. A recent case shared in a senior health forum involved a 72-year-old man who developed sudden dizziness and weakness after eating leftover mashed potatoes he'd stored in foil for 2 days. Though his symptoms weren't life-threatening, his doctor suspected mild toxin exposure, something easily avoided with safer storage habits. Older adults are more at risk because of weakened immune defenses and slower digestion. And according to Frontiers in Neuroscience, repeated low-grade inflammation or gut imbalance may contribute to cognitive decline over time. The takeaway? It's not about giving up potatoes, it's about handling them safely. If you must store them, cool them quickly. Skip the foil and use airtight glass containers instead. Eat leftovers within 48 hours and reheat using even, gentle heat on the stovetop or oven, not in the microwave, which often leaves cold spots where bacteria can survive. Better yet, repurpose cold potatoes into new dishes. Try slicing them into a chilled salad with apple cider vinegar and herbs. You'll not only avoid the risk, but boost your fiber intake and support your gut in the process. Small changes like this can protect your body from silent threats and allow you to keep enjoying the foods you love with peace of mind. Food 3. Why reheated eggs could be harming your heart and brain. Eggs are often considered the perfect food. Affordable, packed with protein, loaded with nutrients like vitamin B12, choline, and selenium, eggs are a go-to for building strength, maintaining brain health, and supporting muscles as we age. But what if that same plate of scrambled eggs, once reheated, begins to work against you? When eggs are cooked the first time, their proteins go through a process called denaturation. This is normal and even beneficial. It makes the protein easier to digest. But when you reheat cooked eggs, especially at high temperatures like in a microwave, those proteins break down again, becoming rubbery and harder for your body to use. And there's more. Inside the yolk is cholesterol. When exposed to repeated or high heat, this cholesterol can oxidize, forming compounds called oxysterols. According to the Journal of Lipid Research, oxysterols are associated with arterial plaque, inflammation, and elevated risk of cardiovascular disease. That's not all. Oxidized cholesterol is also believed to affect brain health. Studies in Nature Reviews Neurology suggest a strong link between chronic inflammation and increased risk of Alzheimer's, dementia, and memory decline, especially in older adults whose brains are more sensitive to these changes. Here's an example you might relate to. My cousin Harold, who's 65, used to batch cook boiled eggs for the week and microwave one every morning. It was convenient, but he often complained of stomach upset and noticed increasing brain fog. When we looked into it, the culprit became clear. Once he switched to eating his eggs called in sandwiches, salads, or devilette, those symptoms eased significantly within 2 weeks. So what's the safest way to enjoy eggs? Try eating them fresh, or if cooked ahead of time, enjoy them cold. Hard-boiled eggs make great grab-and-go snacks. An egg salad on whole grain toast can be just as satisfying as a warm breakfast. If you truly need to reheat eggs, do so gently on a stovetop over low heat and never more than once. And always store them properly covered, refrigerated, and eaten within a few days. Eggs remain one of nature's best gifts when treated with care. By being mindful of how you handle them, you can continue enjoying their benefits without unknowingly adding stress to your body or brain. Food for reheated chicken and the inflammation trap. Chicken is the poster child for healthy eating. It's lean, packed with high-quality protein, and easy to prepare in large batches. For many seniors trying to stay strong and manage their weight, it seems like the perfect food to meal prep and store. But here's the overlooked reality. Reheating cooked chicken, especially in a microwave or at high heat, can make its proteins much harder to digest, and that can spell trouble for older adults. When chicken is cooked the first time, the proteins change shape in a way that helps your body absorb them. But if you reheat it using harsh or uneven heat, those proteins get overcooked, toughened, and structurally damaged. As a result, your digestive system has to work overtime to break them down. And digestion isn't the only issue. According to studies in nutritional science, repeated reheating of meats like chicken can create inflammatory compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These form when proteins and fats are exposed to high heat repeatedly. And AGEs aren't just a minor nuisance, they've been linked to systemic inflammation, the kind that simmers under the surface and gradually wears down your heart, brain, and immune system. Let's put it into a real-world scenario. Think about Nancy, a 68-year-old who preps grilled chicken breasts every Sunday. She microwaves a portion every other day for lunch. On paper, it's a healthy routine. But over time, she began experiencing bloating, joint stiffness, and poor sleep. Her doctor couldn't find anything wrong until they took a closer look at her diet. After switching to freshly cooked or cold chicken options, her symptoms slowly began to ease. For seniors, this is crucial. As we age, our stomach acid decreases, our digestion slows, and our tolerance for inflammatory triggers declines. Reheated proteins, when mishandled, add to that stress even if the food still looks and smells fine. So how can you still enjoy chicken without risking inflammation? First, try eating it cold, chopped into a salad, mixed into a wrap, or tossed with quinoa and fresh veggies. If reheating is necessary, use gentle methods. Warm it slowly on a low-heat stovetop, cover it with a splash of water to keep it moist, and never reheat more than once. Better yet, prepare smaller portions you can finish in one meal. This not only preserves freshness, but also protects your body from the subtle damage that accumulates silently with every poorly reheated bite. Remember, chicken itself isn't the enemy. It's how we treat it after cooking that makes the difference between healing and harm. Food 5. Reheating mushrooms can trigger digestive and cognitive stress. Mushrooms are a beloved ingredient in kitchens around the world. Earthy, satisfying, and deeply nutritious, they offer unique health benefits, especially for older adults. Rich in antioxidants, B vitamins, and beta-glucans that support immune health, mushrooms are often added to stir-fries, soups, omelets, and more. But here's the secret that most people don't know. Mushrooms are extremely sensitive to heat, and when you reheat them, their structure can break down in a way that's not only unappetizing, but potentially harmful to your health. Unlike most vegetables, mushrooms are made up of complex proteins, enzymes, and delicate unsaturated fats. When freshly cooked, These components break down in a controlled, healthy way. But when you reheat mushrooms, especially in a microwave or at high temperatures, they undergo a second breakdown, one that can damage their structure and reduce digestibility. This degradation doesn't just affect flavor or texture, it affects how your body handles them. For older adults with slow digestion, reheated mushrooms can lead to bloating, gas, or that heavy, sluggish feeling we often dismiss as just getting older. But the real concern lies deeper: oxidation. Improperly stored or repeatedly reheated mushrooms can develop oxidized compounds that contribute to inflammation and oxidative stress. According to studies published in Oxidative Medicine and Cellular Longevity, oxidized fats and proteins in food can burden the body's natural antioxidant defenses, especially in seniors whose cells are already more vulnerable to stress. Let me give you an example. My neighbor, Linda, age 70, loves mushroom risotto. She used to make a big batch, store it in the fridge, and reheat portions through the week. By day 3, the mushrooms were rubbery, tasteless, and left her feeling bloated. Once she switched to making smaller batches or enjoying cold leftovers like chilled mushroom quinoa bowls, those uncomfortable symptoms disappeared. The texture change is your clue. Reheated mushrooms often become slimy or rubbery because their internal chemistry has shifted. What was once a superfood becomes a burden on your gut and immune system. To stay safe, always store cooked mushrooms in a glass container with a tight lid, never plastic, which can trap moisture and speed up spoilage. Try to avoid reheating them altogether. Instead, toss leftovers into a cold pasta salad, a wrap with fresh greens, or serve with a drizzle of olive oil and lemon for a light, refreshing lunch. By treating mushrooms with care, you protect their powerful nutrients and, more importantly, protect your digestion, your brain, and your energy. So, what have we really uncovered today? It's not just about spinach, potatoes, eggs, chicken, or mushrooms. It's about how the foods we think are safe when reheated can quietly become toxic to our bodies. Especially as we age, our systems become more sensitive to subtle threats. And the danger isn't in one single meal. It's in the habits we repeat week after week, year after year, without even knowing the long-term effects. Reheating spinach can lead to the formation of nitrosamines, which are linked to cancer and cognitive decline. Improperly stored potatoes may carry invisible neurotoxins. Reheated eggs can form oxidized cholesterol. Chicken, when reheated the wrong way, can trigger low-grade inflammation. And mushrooms? They can turn from gut-healing allies to digestion-disrupting stressors in a single microwave cycle. But here's the good news. None of this means you need to give up these foods. In fact, all of them, when prepared and handled properly, can still be part of a deeply nourishing diet. You have the power to take control, starting with simple shifts. Store leftovers properly. Reheat gently, or better yet, enjoy certain dishes cold. Cook in smaller portions when possible. And most importantly, listen to your body. That bloating, that brain fog, that unexpected fatigue might not be just aging. It might be a silent reaction to how your food is treated after it's cooked. At Forever Health 247, we believe in practical, science-backed solutions that help you stay strong, sharp, and independent every single day. You don't need expensive supplements or radical diets. Just mindful habits and a willingness to see food not only as fuel, but as a healing tool. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which food surprised you the most? Did you learn something new today that you'll start applying in your kitchen this week? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience might help someone else who's been struggling in silence. And if this video helped you, please take a moment to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. We have more senior-focused, no-fluff health videos coming every week. You won't want to miss them. Thank you for spending this time with me. And remember, Every small change you make is a powerful investment in your future strength, clarity, and peace of mind. I sincerely wish you who have supported this video to always be healthy. Just 1 or 2 sentences in this video help your life. I feel satisfied.